everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. So this week I wanted to post a very interesting video. I was so excited to post that, but it is not completed yet. It would have been a perfect way to conclude the year of 2022. And yes, I was so excited to post it, but the entire last week, I was struggling to speak because of my throat inflammation. I cannot speak for long duration. And in the last few days between the end of October and the initial part of November, I was traveling. So already there was exhaustion because of traveling, and at that time I knew as soon as I would come back to Delhi, the air quality index is so poor here that I will catch the cold, fever, and everything. And it happened. It happened. So do wait for this video. I'll post it next week. But today, I wanted to bring one video, very interesting topic. It's about first house, and this video is a part of a workshop which I introduced this year in the month of April, and people loved it. It's a workshop which is about first and seventh house axis. And if you still are interested in purchasing this workshop, we do have 25% off till 25th of December. So let me know if you're interested. But I think this particular topic from the workshop, I loved it. It's about first house. Till now we haven't talked about the first house enough on this channel. What is first house? What is ascendant? What does it represent about you? What is self in astrology? And also here we'll talk about how the placement of the first lord in different houses impacts our journey, our perspective towards life. What does it represent about us? So today we'll talk about first house, big bang, and arrival of the soul. I hope you will find this video helpful for you. So let's begin. Hey everyone, welcome to the very first day, the very first module of a workshop, Heal and Make Space for Love. So, what we are going to discuss today, the first thing which we will discuss about is you, your first house. See, what is the first step in healing? If you want to make peace with your own self, if you want to accept your experiences and you want to move ahead, what is the first step of healing? The first step of healing is looking at your inner self, understanding yourself, self discovery, self awareness. That is the first step. Addressing your needs, your feelings is everything. That's why I have named this workshop as Heal and Make Space for Love. You can never make space for love if you cannot heal. You cannot experience the beauty of the seventh house if the first house is not strong. If the first house is under some kind of stress, you might not be ready to attract more love or the right partnership. Also, you are not ready to experience this world, because this world does give us a lot of opportunities. So if you want to be open to the world, first house is everything. First house is the first step for healing. Okay, so today's topic is you. That is the first house. What does the first house represent in astrology? What does the first house represent in the first and seventh house axis? How you were created. Okay, because this process of creation do give us a lot of answers about our existence and purpose. So your creation, well, that is something which you need to learn about. And how this first house is also under great influence of different houses. Okay, the process of your birth, the process of your growth, learning is not easy, it's very complex. So let's understand what all houses influence the first house, which means it influences your evolution and growth. And also we'll talk about um, how the first lord's placement defines our self discovery, our self awareness. See, no matter whatsoever planet sits in your first house, and it doesn't matter like which sign rules the first house. Well, it does mean something, it will influence you, but why I'm saying it doesn't matter, because the first lord, where it is placed, that is everything. It's so important. It shows through which path, how you will discover yourself, how you will perceive this world, how you will connect with the world. So, in this particular module, rather than talking about planetary placements in the first house, we'll talk about the first lord and its placement in the different houses. So, let's begin. Now, there is something very common in creation of the universe and in the creation of your soul, your spark. Okay, there is something which is very similar, and that is the Big Bang Theory. Well, according to our Shastras and also according to the science, this universe is constantly undergoing a series of expansion and contraction. With every expansion, this universe grows beautifully, it expands beautifully. So expansion of universe means that creation is happening, everything is growing, there is more abundance. And when this universe contracts, this means that everything is now undergoing the process of destruction, and then everything will end at a certain point of time, and then again there is a process of expansion happening. Again there will be a birth of a solar system, there will be birth of life, and everything will again expand and grow. So universe undergoes constant expansion and contraction, very similar to our the concept given in the Shastras. So, according to the Shastras, Brahma is the creator. He created every life form and non living form as well. He designed this universe, He designed everything around us. And the expansion and contraction of universe, which means the birth and the destruction of universe, depends a lot on the age of Brahma. So the age of Brahma is 100 years, but these 100 years are very different from the human years, the human life. 100 years of Brahma equals to 3,11,040 billion human years. So when Brahma is born, from that point expansion of universe happens. So before Brahma was born, there was nothing in this universe, there was emptiness, there was just this spark of light, a single dot like a point of light. So when Brahma was born, this single source of light underwent a big bang, a big explosion. So, with the birth of Brahma, the Big Bang happened, and expansion happened, and the universe was created. There were planets, there were different star systems, there was life, and of course, life doesn't exist over here. Life exists in many different planes, in many star systems. We are not strong enough to find that. We are too small in front of this universe. So when Brahma is born, a big explosion happens and this world is created. Now when Brahma reaches to the age of 50, the destructive activities will start. From 0 to 50, everything is created, everything flourishes beautifully. But when Brahma reaches to 50, 51, then starts the process of destruction, and this is the point when the universe prepares for the contraction. So once Brahma reaches to the age of 100, the universe contracts. That big bang is now going to contract. Whatever particles, went away, very far away in this process of explosion, well, everything will now come back, and they will be together in just a single source of light, in a single point. So that's how creation happens. Okay, that's how the big bang happens. In the same way, we are also undergoing the same process. Okay, when you are born, a big bang happens. And what happens in this process is, like, your soul is this divine spark. You can say it's a flame of fire or a spark of fire. So when big bang happens, when you are born, this spark divides into two. The first part stays in the first house, and the other spark moves away in the seventh house. So you are here, this is your ego. The very first spark which left in the first house is you, it's your identity, it's your ego. Now, your creative side, which is often used to manifest everything in life, that creativity goes into the seventh house. And the entire purpose of this journey is to move towards the seventh house, to move over there and use that creativity. It's a medium to grow. How you will grow, how this universe will expand. It will only expand when the Big Bang will happen. One thing will break into many pieces. Okay, you have to undergo a bit of destruction to expand as well. You have to divide yourself, you have to multiply yourself, right? So in the same way, your Purush part, the masculine part, just stays in the first house, and the Prakriti part moves into the seventh house, which is your creative part, the feminine part. So this journey is all about, firstly, making yourself strong, and then moving towards the seventh house affairs, because this thing will act as a medium to express your creativity. When you express your creativity, growth happens. Okay, it could be material growth, it could be general, soul level growth. You have to chase the seventh house affairs, then only the growth will happen, right? What happens when the Purush and the Prakriti comes together? This process gives birth to children. So if you want to achieve something, if you want to give birth to something great, whether you want to attain material benefits, if you want to attain more soul growth, if you want to attain more popularity, whatever you seek, seventh house gives you this medium to grow. And same happens in the partnerships. Like when you get into a partnership, it gives you a pathway to grow, and also it gives you a path to understand yourself much better. But of course, the seventh house is not a very easy house. On one side, it gives you the creative medium to grow beautifully, but this is also the house which gives a lot of limitations. Because I have been telling this, that the first and the seventh house, they are like the mirror images. What happens in the mirror? Well, when you look at yourself in the mirror, your reflection, it's laterally inverted. Your left appears right, your right appears left. So this lateral inversion means that the seventh house will always show you what you lack in life. Okay, it will show you what you don't have or what you need to correct in your journey. That's why there is an inversion of the images. Definitely, you can see your reflection in the seventh house, but it's inverted. It's not what you want to see, it's very different. The mirror will always show you the shadow side, which you want to hide from the world, which you don't want to accept. That is our shadow side, something which we don't want the world should know about us. That's why the seventh house is a very difficult house, because sometimes it limits our growth as well, because it will always show you something which you don't like about yourself, and it may stop you from growing. So this is a very important house, the seventh house. And if your first house is not strong, then you can never make the best use of the creative medium given by the seventh house. So, what is first house? First house is you. First house is your arrival in the world. And you should know the difference between the first house and the ascendant. Ascendant is a certain point in your first house. You need to focus on the ascendant degree. Ascendant is something which shows what was happening in the eastern horizon of the sky when you were born. Let's take an example. The nearest airport to my house is the IGI airport. Okay, so if I went to a vacation and now I want to come back to my place, I will choose that airport to land. So that airport, IGI airport, is my arrival. That is my arrival zone. But as the flight lands, I might enter into the main airport through a certain gate. So I entered into the airport through the gate 3. So, though that airport is my arrival to my home, but gate 3 is my entrance. There is a big difference between arrival and entrance. Entrance is a more specific point. So the IGI airport is my arrival. Okay, I just came here. This is the zone where I arrived. Fine. But entering from the gate 3, that is my ascendant. That is the exact door from where I made my entry. That is my entrance. And now I have entered through the gate 3. This is the picture which is in my eyes. This is the lens through which I will look at the world. So you need to understand the difference between ascendant and the first house. Ascendant is a certain point. You have to check its degree, its sign, and also which nakshatra is rising in the ascendant. Your ascendant is the entrance point from the door through which you entered into the physical realm. That is your entry door, your ascendant. Your ascendant defines your outlook towards life, your perception about the world, your attitude towards people, towards your life, towards the entire world, your footprints, what kind of impact you will leave on this world. It is decided by the ascendant, and also where the first lord is placed. Ascendant defines your creative urge, how you will grow, what path you may follow. Ascendant also defines your touch with reality. Now let's look into what does the first house means. First house defines your self image, what you think about yourself. First house defines first impression of the world. First house also indicates how you will treat your body and also how you will take care of your soul, because first house means the physical existence, your physical body, and within this physical body is your soul. So if you don't take care of the first house, if you don't take care of yourself, how will you take care of the soul which resides in this body? Again, just like Ascendant, first house also talks about self awareness. This is the house of self discovery. It defines your appearance, traits, and manners. And also, the first house is the aura, the energy, the signals you send to the world. This is your energy reaching to others. Okay, so the Big Bang is already happened. It's done. Now, what you have to do now, after this Big Bang, after this birth, you have to expand, you have to grow. So, whenever we are born, the first house, which means us, the self, undergoes three stages of growth. We can say three laws of self discovery or three laws of growth in an individual's life. So, what are those three laws? The first law is the law of reincarnation, the second one is the law of inertia, and the third one is the law of karma. The very first law, which defines your self discovery, your self growth, is the law of reincarnation. Reincarnation means born again, like you existed before as well. You have experienced life even previously. This is not your first birth. You were here even before this life form. So you have experienced a lot of things. And the law of reincarnation means that in this birth, you do carry certain traits, certain memories, and experiences from the past life. And those experiences, those karmas, will impact your self discovery, your self awareness, and self growth. As soon as you are born, you may not feel or realize anything. But as you grow, you may see certain patterns, you may see certain situations which may feel very familiar, or you may think that why am I dealing with these issues constantly? So there are certain karmas, certain memories of past experiences which you may witness in this life. And these things will impact your self growth, your self discovery, and self awareness. This will impact your healing process, your actions, how you look at the world. So definitely law of reincarnation is very important. And as we are talking about the process of reincarnation, there is one thing I really wanted to mention. Carbon dating of your identity. What does that mean? Well, carbon dating is a scientific method through which you can understand the history, the age of a certain thing. Like most of the life forms on Earth are made of carbon. And by looking at the carbon isotope, by understanding the chemistry, we can be more aware of the history, how old is a certain object. We can learn about its history in a great way. We can track its roots. In the same way, you can also do carbon dating of your identity. And how can you do this? By looking at the 12th house. Even if your first and 12th house are not interconnected, looking at the 12th house can give you an idea about your history, what subconsciously you are carrying in this life, how the past experiences may impact your current identity and your current existence. This really matters a lot. Sometimes we think and behave in a very different way. We don't have answers for it. So the 12th house directly, indirectly will impact your perception, your self-discovery, your first house. Subconscious is about not just today's journey, today's life, but also what you experienced in the past. So that is the law of reincarnation, and of course, every planet holds on to a certain karma. Each planet's placement will show that. So it will also influence your growth and your self discovery. Now let's come to a second law, that is the law of inertia. According to physics, the law of inertia simply means to resist any change. Like, suppose you are driving a car, you are moving in a straight line, you are moving at a certain velocity, a certain speed, and suddenly when you try to put the brake, you feel a jerk, your body will just move forward on applying the brake. So this is your body reacting to the change. Though it is trained, it's moving in a certain speed, and suddenly you are being challenged. Suddenly there is a force which is applied on you, and you apply the brake to protect yourself. So you felt that jerk. So that is the resistance to change. Okay, so in the same way, the first law was the law of reincarnation. So the law of reincarnation, and also that entrance and arrival point where you have arrived, from which entrance you have entered into this world. These three things, remember, the reincarnation, the arrival, and the entrance, they define you. They define your motion in which you are moving forward in life, your idea, your perception, your attitude, your qualities. Now comes the law of inertia. So you are moving forward with what you have, with what you know. And suddenly now life is throwing a lot of challenges on you. You are interacting with the world, with different people, with different situations. So you are in your own speed, and everything around you is coming with a different speed, different velocity. So you will start applying your brakes, because your energy doesn't match with the energies of others. And that is law of inertia, facing resistance, because this world is different from you. Everything, everyone comes at a different velocity with a different energy. And when something is not like you will be reluctant, you will show resistance. So that's the law of connecting with the world. Now you are growing, you are facing this world. You might not be very open to everything. Few things might completely go with you, they may support your power, your speed, but there are a lot of things which may not support you, and they may block you. So this is a law which talks about you versus the world, your interaction with the world, the friction you may witness. So this is law of inertia, and this impacts your growth and your experiences. So first one was the past life, and the second one is your present experiences, how you face the world, which impacts your self discovery. All right, now let's move on to the third law, and that is the law of karma. And what does that mean? Now you are grown up, you have learned a lot of lessons, you have a certain qualities, you have a certain mindset, certain traits, you have likes and dislikes. Now with what you have, what you have experienced, you will make actions in life, you will take some decisions, you will work towards what you want based on your likes and dislikes and your mindset, what you have experienced from the world. And this is the law of karma, taking actions based on your experiences and also your existing qualities. Now, before we talk about how the first lord's placement in different houses will impact our self discovery, our journey, our outlook towards life, towards the world, let's quickly understand how different houses impacts our journey in a great way. We all know that our life is not just ours. Our life is connected to many different people. It's connected to a lot of things. So our environment, everyone around us, greatly impact the process of self-discovery, the process of healing and understanding ourselves. Our growth is somehow dependent on someone else because that factor, that person influenced us in a great way. So the next thing which we are discussing here, the kendras, how the kendra houses impacts the first house. Are these houses going to drown you in the greatest depth of misery, like a dangerous whirlpool does? Or it's just that these houses are churning the ocean of your soul. And through this churning of ocean, something great will come out and something negative will also come out. So, do these houses are doing a samudra manthan for our soul so that the good and the bad both should come on the surface? Let's see. So these are the Kendra houses, first, fourth, seventh, and 10th. First is you, your entrance, your life, your existence. Fourth house is home, family members, it's the house of mother. Seventh house is public, marriage partner. 10th house is father, work, or society. Some people may have the confusion that ninth house is the house of father, yes, but 10th house also represents the authoritative figures in our life. So this house also shows a lot about the resources coming through father or the impact of father, his strength. And also this is the house of society, the social hierarchy, the social ranking. So these are the houses 4, 7, and 10, which bring a lot of churning and friction in our life. So our life is somehow connected to these houses. No matter how hard you try to move away, you will be always influenced by your domestic environment, your home, the influence of mother-like figure. You will be always impacted through your father, how he behaves, how he works for the home, and you will be impacted by the society, the social ranking, the status, the reputation, and you will be always impacted through the public, how they connect with you, how they deal with you, how they behave with you, how your partner is behaving, what this person is expecting from you. So these houses creates a whirlpool. Everything just revolves and revolves and revolves. These three houses greatly impact the first house. So if you want to understand about what is impacting you as a person, what is stopping you from healing, these three houses might be the biggest reason. If you want to know why you changed a lot in life, these houses changed you. These houses helped you to grow stronger, but these houses also brought a lot of trauma which needs to be healed. So, as I was saying, Samudra Manthan was done by the Devas and the Asuras. And in this churning of ocean, there were great things which were retrieved from the greatest depth of ocean. So these houses are bringing out the best in you, but also they are bringing out very difficult things. This Samudra Manthan also brought out very obnoxious things like the poison which was consumed by Lord Shiva. So this will also bring out the negative side of your life. It may bring some trauma which is difficult to heal. So what I was saying here is these houses are very much impacting the first house. Now it's time to understand how the first lord's placement in different houses impacts one's journey in a great way. Remember, lordship is the most important thing. Wherever the first lord is placed, that is the first thing you should notice After that, check out the nature of the sign which rules the first house and also which planet is placed over here. When the first lord is in the first house, it makes one very independent in life. And the basic need of this person is power. This person will seek such a place, such a position in life which is impossible for others to achieve. This is something which gives a kick to a person having this placement. So, the path to self discovery is to be independent and attain more strength and power. This is a very good placement for achieving good things in life. But this could also be a difficult placement. Like if you know someone with this placement, you are in relationship, or this person is your family member or friend. First lord in first house means that this person is someone who gives importance to self first. Their ability to give something to the partnership might not be great. First, they will think, what about me? What about my security? What about my gains? So this is something which is all about attaining power. That is the major purpose. That is the perception here, that power is everything. When the first lord is in second house, one may entirely focus on the family life, or the family is influencing their path of self discovery in a positive manner, or also it could impact their path of self discovery in a negative manner. One may try to seek approval from the family all the time, whatever decision she or he makes. Also, depending upon in which sign is the first lord is placed, this person may also try to create a separate identity from the family. And of course, one is destined to deal with karmic bonds, such karmic bonds which you cannot escape, and one may strive for personal space as well. So, the path of self discovery is coming through witnessing and experiencing the family bonds. When the first lord is in the third house, the path to self discovery happens when you communicate, when you give away something to others. Your ideas, your speech, or you are counseling others, you have to make a certain effort to connect with others, and you will lead the path of other people. You will help them in some way. You have to take an initiative. Maybe everything may not come to you the way you wanted to. So, the path to self discovery is to take the initiative. Whatever you want, you have to display courage. And of course, you are dealing with certain siblings or neighbors or people around who will impact a lot, who will impact your emotional state. If the first lord is in the fourth house, then the path to self discovery is security. You want to secure your life in every way. That is something which will help you to grow amazingly. And also, the people at home, the atmosphere, or the early childhood will define your inner strength and happiness. You may not work the way the other people are working. You may not follow the world or the patterns of world in a great way, and you will have this emotional connection to your purpose. And when there is emotional connection to purpose, your mind can be your greatest friend or the worst enemy. So the first lord in fourth house means that the path to self discovery starts from home, starts from the state of your mind. When first lord is in fifth house, this makes one very creative. So the path to self discovery is working on your creative side, using your creative skills. You may come across people from the past, and the past connections will greatly influence your future journey. One may seek comforts and happiness, and it's very important for this person to be productive all the time. You will challenge yourself every time to do something new. When the first lord is in the sixth house, the path to self discovery happens only when one faces challenges. With every challenge comes the growth, and this person may love to do difficult things. Also, this is a placement which creates health issues. So, health issues, challenges may block this path of self discovery and growth. With this placement, one either serves other people or destroy other people as well. When the first lord is in the seventh house, it brings great achievements. In fact, the path to self discovery and strength is much connected to achievements. If there are no achievements, extraordinary achievements, one may feel very weak, and also one may not be much satisfied in relationships. One may feel that something is missing in the existing partnership, or maybe with respect to material life, there are many things which I have not accomplished yet. So dissatisfaction is a biggest problem with this placement. And of course, partnerships will define your purpose. Partnerships may impact your purpose in a great way. Then first lord in the eighth house. With this placement, one is not open to the world in a great way, and this person may not enjoy what others are doing. So the path to self discovery is all about walking on such path which is not being taken by many people. One may walk on less traveled roads to acquire something great. And it could be great with this placement that someone is doing very different things, but for some people, it could be also falling into very uh, taboo like situations, taboo like works, which may not be accepted by the society in a great way. Also, first lord in eighth house gives one great knowledge. Understanding mysterious things, doing research enhances one's growth and happiness. If the first lord is in the ninth house, then this person is a learner for the life. Learning, acquiring knowledge, traveling will help a lot in the self discovery. Maybe, with this placement, someone may not follow what others are saying because they want to find their own path, they want to find their own truth, so they will follow a path which they have found through their research, through their learning. And these people are ready to learn a lot from the past and move forward. But if the first lord in ninth house is somehow afflicted, then this person may cling to the past and worry too much about the future. If the first lord is in the 10th house, the path to self discovery is getting approval from the world, doing something extraordinary great. Here, the purpose of a person unites with the career choice, and yes, one is very ambitious and seeks gratification from work. So achievements is everything. The path to self discovery is to get a good social rank and to be accepted by the world. Then the first lord in the 11th house indicates the path to self discovery is the social relationships, the people around you. There is a great need of respect, recognition, and name. It's just not about money and money. It's about getting a wider network where people are respecting you. It is very important. And one might not be easily happy with the monetary gains. One might be never fully satisfied with what they are achieving. So, this can be a greatest gift. This can be also a greatest block in the spiritual path. If the first lord is in the 12th house, well, it is a difficult placement because the process of self discovery is quite uneasy. One may not feel connected to the world, to the people. One may be disconnected from the material life. And people who have this placement doesn't understand the norms and the patterns of world, or they do not agree with the life of others. What are they doing? What are they following? Their philosophy. So first lord in 12th house indicates a person whose path of self discovery is learning about the universe, learning about the different dimensions, the parallel realms, more than living in the present moment, more than talking about the current world where they live. They talk about different dimensions, they talk about universe, they talk about the other world in a great way, and they feel more drawn to the parallel realms, the different realms of this universe. And of course, this is a placement where one might be very much connected to the place from where they came to this earth, their past life station. They do have great memories in subconscious, so they are drawn more towards that realm rather than the present place. And they are much concerned about the final path of life, not about the material things, but what will happen in the end, what is the final result. They are worried about this. So first in 12th house wander a lot in finding what they want, or what is the true meaning of life. And yes, this is a placement which brings very slow growth.